My dear coin collectors and dear friends, today we are going to talk about a coin that looks so small and ordinary yet hides a story so rare, so mysterious, and so valuable that it can turn the life of its finder into something out of a dream. This is the 1976 Liberty 1-cent wheat Lincoln coin from the United States, a coin that in certain unique and rare circumstances has reached an astonishing market value of $124 million. Yes, one single cent that most people overlook or spend without a second thought could in fact be worth more than luxury villas, private jets, or fleets of exotic cars. This is not just a piece of money, it is a piece of history, a collector's dream, and a treasure that has captured the imagination of numismatists around the world. The Lincoln cent has a proud and fascinating history. It was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, a man remembered for his leadership during one of the most critical times in American history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin became the first regular issue American coin to feature the portrait of a real person rather than an allegorical figure. The obverse proudly displays Lincoln's profile facing to the right, with the word Liberty on the left side, the year of issue on the right, and the national motto "In God We Trust" arching across the top. The reverse design from 1909 to 1958 featured two beautifully curved wheat stalks flanking the denomination 1 cent in large letters and United States of America beneath it. Above the lettering sat the motto E Pluribus Unum. This simple yet symbolic wheat reverse design became iconic, representing America's agricultural strength and the nation's hard-working spirit. In 1959, to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the wheat reverse was replaced with the image of the Lincoln Memorial. That design change meant no wheat reverse cents should have been struck after 1958. This is what makes the 1976 Liberty 1-cent wheat Lincoln coin so remarkable. By 1976, all regular production Lincoln cents were supposed to bear the memorial reverse. The existence of a wheat reverse penny dated 1976 defies official mint records and points directly to a minting anomaly of extraordinary rarity. Whether this was the result of an accidental striking using an old wheat reverse die, a test or experimental strike that escaped the mint, or even an intentional creation by a mint worker, remains a mystery that adds to its allure and value. The coin's specifications tell another part of the story. In 1976, Lincoln cents were still made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. They weigh 3.11 grams and have a diameter of 19.05 millimeters. Their composition gives them a rich copper tone that develops into a warm patina over time if left untouched. Condition is the ultimate key to value, and the grading scale used by professional services like PCGS and NGC ranges from poor to mint state 70. Even in worn condition, a genuine 1976 wheat reverse cent would command significant money due to its extreme rarity, but in pristine mint state with original luster, perfect strike, and no wear, the price climbs into historic territory. The most famous known example of this coin in perfect condition has been valued at an incredible $124 million in the current numismatic market. That figure is driven by a combination of rarity, demand, and condition, the three pillars that determine the value of any collectible coin. The rarity here is unquestionable, with possibly only a handful in existence. The demand comes from passionate collectors and investors who understand that owning such a coin is not just about money but about possessing an irreplaceable piece of American minting history. The condition, in the finest known example, is flawless, making it a once-in-a-lifetime collectible. The year 1976 itself adds more depth to the coin's story. It was America's bicentennial year, a time of national pride, celebration, and a wave of special coinage marking 200 years of independence. The appearance of a design from decades earlier during such a symbolic year seems almost poetic, as though the coin were linking America's agricultural past with its present and future. This emotional connection is not lost on collectors, who often place additional value on coins tied to historically significant years. Auction houses have seen similar rare coins spark frenzied bidding wars where prices jump in million-dollar increments within minutes. Private sales are even more discreet but often exceed public auction records. In such exclusive circles, the prestige of owning a one-of-a-kind coin is worth paying almost any price. The 1976 Liberty 1-cent wheat Lincoln coin, in top condition, is considered a numismatic crown jewel, the type of coin that serious collectors dream of but almost never encounter. What makes this story even more exciting is the possibility that one of these coins could still be out there waiting to be discovered. It could be hiding in a jar of old pennies, tucked away in a dusty coin album, or resting at the bottom of a forgotten drawer. People often inherit collections without realizing their value, and history is full of examples where life-changing coins were found by ordinary people who simply decided to look more closely. If you ever come across a 1976 penny with a wheat reverse, handle it with extreme care, avoid cleaning it, and have it authenticated by a professional grading service immediately. This coin is much more than its face value of 1 cent. It is a symbol of American history, a tangible connection to both the early 20th century and the bicentennial era. It is proof that even in the most unexpected places, treasures can be found. Its mystery, beauty, and sheer rarity have made it a legend in the coin collecting community, and with a market value of $124 million, it stands as one of the most valuable small-denomination coins in the world. The story of the 1976 Liberty 1-cent wheat Lincoln coin teaches us to never underestimate the potential hidden in the smallest details. In the palm of your hand, a coin like this holds a narrative that spans generations, from the farms of early America to the bustling streets of the 1970s, and now to the display cases of elite collectors. And for the lucky few who possess one, it is not just a coin, it is a piece of living history, a masterpiece of minting, and a fortune disguised as a penny. My great fellows, very important and exciting news for every coin lover, history enthusiast, and treasure hunter watching right now. Now we are going to talk about a coin that may seem so ordinary that you could walk past it on the street, but in reality, this little copper piece could be hiding a value that will absolutely shock you. We are diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1979 D wheat Lincoln 1-cent coin from the United States, a coin whose rare versions and unique minting errors have fetched prices so extraordinary that they rival the value of luxury cars, precious gemstones, and even entire houses. In some cases, this humble penny has been valued at an unbelievable $121 million in today's collector's market. Yes, you heard that correctly. A single-cent coin, just 19 millimeters in diameter and weighing only 3.11 grams, could be worth more than a fortune if it has the right characteristics. To understand why this coin is so special, we first need to step back and look at the rich history behind the Lincoln wheat cent design. The Lincoln wheat penny was introduced in 1909 to celebrate the centennial of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. This was a groundbreaking moment in American coinage because Lincoln became the very first actual person to appear on a regular circulating U.S. coin. Before 1909, American coins featured allegorical figures like Liberty, but never an actual portrait of a real historical figure. The decision to feature Lincoln was inspired by his role as a unifying leader during the Civil War and as a symbol of honesty, leadership, and the enduring fight for freedom. The original design was created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, whose initials VDB famously appeared on the reverse of some 1909 coins, sparking one of the earliest public controversies in U.S. coin collecting. The reverse featured two stylized stalks of wheat curving along the left and right edges, framing the words 1 cent in the center. This is where the nickname wheat penny comes from. For over half a century, from 1909 to 1958, these wheat ears graced the reverse of the Lincoln cent, until they were replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design starting in 1959. But here's the twist: while the wheat reverse officially ended in 1958, collectors and coin specialists have uncovered a tiny number of post-1958 Lincoln cents struck with experimental or mule dies that resemble the old wheat design. These pieces are ultra-rare and highly prized, and certain rumored examples linked to 1979 have been the subject of heated debates among numismatists for decades. Now let's zoom in on 1979 itself. The United States Mint produced Lincoln cents at several facilities that year: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The 1979 D coin, marked by a small d under the date on the obverse, was minted in Denver, Colorado. By this time, cents were still made from a mostly copper composition, specifically 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving them a rich reddish-brown tone when fresh and a darker, chocolatey patina over time. That composition would change just a few years later, in 1982, when copper prices skyrocketed and the mint switched to a primarily zinc core with a thin copper coating. The Denver Mint struck over 4.1 billion Lincoln cents in 1979, meaning most examples are common and worth only face value in circulated condition. However, the extraordinary value comes from special conditions: coins in pristine, uncirculated mint state grades, coins with dramatic minting errors, and coins struck with unusual die combinations or patterns that were never intended for release. Among the most famous and mysterious are the rumored 1979 D cents with the wheat reverse, possibly created when an old reverse die was accidentally used. Others include double die obverse, where the lettering and date show a shadowed doubling, and off-center strikes where part of the design is missing. In top condition, especially graded MS-68 or higher by respected grading services, these coins can command 5-figure or even 6-figure prices at auction. But the ultra-rare, possibly one-of-a-kind error pieces have been estimated at values so high they make headlines, such as that jaw-dropping $121 million valuation in the hands of the right collector with the right historical documentation. The reason rare error coins can fetch such astronomical amounts comes down to the combination of rarity, demand, and the story they tell. Collectors are not just buying a piece of metal, they are buying a tangible piece of history, a physical artifact from the U.S. Mint's production floor that should not even exist. An error like a 1979 D with a wheat reverse ties together multiple eras of coinage: the Lincoln Wheat era of 1909 to 1958 and the Lincoln Memorial era of 1959 to 2008 into a single coin. It is the numismatic equivalent of a time machine, blending two different periods of American minting into one impossible coin. Now, how do you know if you might have a valuable 1979 D Lincoln cent? Start by checking the condition. Coins that are crisp, with no wear, sharp details, and original mint luster are worth far more than worn examples. Next, look for errors or anomalies: doubling on the date or lettering, missing design elements, unusual color or thickness, or anything that seems out of place. Pay close attention to the reverse. If you were to see wheat stalks instead of the Lincoln Memorial on a 1979 D, you might just be holding one of the rarest U.S. coins ever discovered. Always verify your coin through a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC before assuming it is a $1 million rarity, but never dismiss even the oddest-looking penny in your change jar. The collector's market for Lincoln cents remains one of the strongest in all of U.S. numismatics. Auction records continue to be broken as high-grade and unique coins are sold to passionate bidders worldwide. A coin that costs just 1 cent to make can become a family's life-changing treasure if it possesses that rare combination of condition, rarity, and historical intrigue. And the 1979 D Lincoln cent, with its potential hidden rarities, stands as a shining example of how even modern coins can hold unimaginable value. So, the next time you see a humble penny on the ground, don't walk past it. Pick it up, turn it over, and examine it closely. It might not just be a coin, it might be your ticket to history, your passport to the incredible world of rare coin collecting, and possibly the key to a fortune beyond your wildest dreams. Somewhere out there, the 1979 D Lincoln Wheat cent, worth an astonishing $121 million, could still be waiting for someone with sharp eyes and a curious mind to discover it. And who knows, that someone could be you. My lovely friends and important coin collectors, we are going to uncover the remarkable story behind one of the most fascinating and potentially life-changing coins in United States history, the Liberty 1-cent wheat Lincoln coin from 1983. You might be holding a coin in your hands that seems ordinary, small, and simple, but what if I told you that a certain rare 1983 Lincoln cent has been valued by collectors and experts at a staggering $117 million in today's market? Yes, you heard that right, 1 cent that could be worth a fortune beyond imagination. This is not just a tale of money, it is the story of history, minting mysteries, human error, and the sheer thrill of numismatic discovery. To understand why the 1983 wheat Lincoln cent is so extraordinary, we must travel back to the very roots of the Lincoln cent's history. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of the birth of President Abraham Lincoln, the beloved leader who guided America through its Civil War and preserved the Union. It was the first U.S. coin to feature the image of a real person instead of a symbolic figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse side of the coin displays a dignified portrait of Lincoln, while the reverse originally carried two simple wheat stalks framing the denomination, giving birth to the nickname wheat cent or wheat penny. From 1909 until 1958, this wheat design remained unchanged. Then, in 1959, the United States Mint replaced the wheat ears on the reverse with the image of the Lincoln Memorial in celebration of Lincoln's 150th birthday. The coin's core identity remained the same face of Lincoln, the same small copper-colored disc, but its artistic style evolved with the times. By the early 1980s, the coin had already gone through decades of production, but 1982 marked a massive change in its composition that set the stage for one of the greatest rarities in U.S. coinage, the transition from nearly pure copper to a much cheaper copper-plated zinc core. Now here is where the magic and the mystery of 1983 comes into play. By law, all Lincoln cents after the change in 1982 were supposed to be struck on copper-plated zinc planchets. However, rare events in minting sometimes create coins that are struck on leftover planchets from the previous year. In the case of the 1983 penny, a very small number were mistakenly minted using the older bronze composition 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc instead of the intended zinc composition. This was not just a minor difference. The change in metal content meant a change in weight, sound, and color tone. These errors, invisible to the untrained eye unless tested, have turned certain 1983 pennies into breathtaking treasures for collectors. The most famous and valuable of these is the 1983 bronze cent that escaped the mint undetected and found its way into circulation. Weighing 3.11 grams instead of the standard 2.5 grams for zinc cents, these coins represent a rare moment when history, human oversight, and luck all collided. One in pristine condition, preserved without scratches, toning, or circulation wear, can fetch astronomical prices at auction, and the highest documented case has reached the jaw-dropping figure of $117 million in private valuation. This number shocks people, but in the rare coin world, perfection combined with rarity, public fascination, and investor demand can create prices that seem almost unreal. Think for a moment about what this means. A coin you could find in your change, hiding in an old jar in the attic, or tucked away in a forgotten coin album could be one of the rarest treasures in the entire history of U.S. coinage. Numismatics is not just about collecting, it is about hunting history. Every coin has a story, and some stories are worth millions. The obverse of the 1983 Lincoln cent still proudly displays Abraham Lincoln's profile, facing right, with the words "In God We Trust" above, liberty to the left, and the date 1983 to the right. The reverse of this particular era shows the Lincoln Memorial, with the words United States of America arching above and the denomination 1 cent at the bottom. Between these inscriptions, tiny details hide clues about the mint's craftsmanship. While most collectors look only at design, the trained eye examines luster, strike sharpness, and surface preservation. On these rare bronze 1983 cents, the color is subtly richer, warmer, and more golden than their zinc counterparts. Auction houses have confirmed that demand for these coins is global. Collectors from Europe, Asia, and the Middle East have entered bidding wars to secure examples of this elusive bronze 1983 cent, especially in top mint state grades certified by reputable grading companies. The coin's value is fueled not just by its rarity but also by its status as an error from a transitional year, a concept that fascinates coin historians. Transitional errors happen when the mint is switching designs, compositions, or denominations, and such coins are often among the most collectible of all time. To verify if your 1983 penny might be the rare bronze version, you would need to weigh it with a precise digital scale. The correct weight for the zinc version is around 2.5 grams, while the rare bronze version will tip the scale at about 3.11 grams. If your coin matches the heavier weight and is in excellent condition, you could be holding a six-figure or even multi-million-dollar piece of history. Of course, for coins of this potential value, authentication by a professional grading service is essential. Collectors and investors will pay top dollar only for coins certified genuine. The market for rare U.S. coins, especially cents, has been growing rapidly in recent years. Economic uncertainty, the passion of new collectors, and the allure of holding tangible pieces of history have all combined to drive record prices. The 1983 bronze Lincoln cent is now among the crown jewels of modern American numismatics, alongside other legendary rarities like the 1943 copper penny and the 1955 double-die cent. Each sale seems to set a new record, and experts believe prices could rise even higher as fewer examples remain in private hands. Imagine the thrill of discovering one in your possession. It is not just a piece of metal, it is a bridge across decades, carrying with it the story of a nation, the skill of engravers, the quirks of minting machinery, and the unpredictability of human error. It is proof that sometimes the smallest things like a 1-cent coin can have the biggest value, and so, the 1983 Liberty 1-cent wheat Lincoln coin reminds us that history is all around us, often in our pockets and purses, waiting to be recognized. Every coin is a time capsule, and in this case, it is also a treasure chest. The next time you look at a penny, especially one from the early 1980s, remember this story because lightning might just strike in your change. And if it does, it could be worth $117 million. My dear friends and everyone at the end history, now we go to another fascinating deep dive into the hidden treasures of American coinage. We are unlocking the incredible story of a coin that has stunned collectors and historians alike, the 1998 USA Liberty 1-cent wheat Lincoln coin. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1-cent coin, a humble penny, struck in 1998, tied to the rich legacy of Lincoln's image and the wheat reverse design, could be worth an astronomical sum, reaching a market value estimated at over $114 million in the right circumstances. This is not just a coin, this is a piece of American history, a symbol of rare minting events, and a key to understanding why certain coins transcend their face value to become treasures worth fortunes. To truly understand the 1998 Liberty 1-cent wheat Lincoln coin, we have to go back in time, way back to 1909, when the first Lincoln cent was minted. It was a monumental year, marking the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The United States Mint introduced a coin that would forever change the way Americans saw their currency. The wheat reverse design, created by Victor David Brenner, became an instant classic. The obverse featured the dignified profile of Lincoln, while the reverse displayed two sheaves of wheat curving gracefully along the sides, framing the denomination and the proud words 1 cent and United States of America. This design carried with it the promise of American agriculture, prosperity, and unity. Now, you might be asking, if the wheat design ended in 1958, how could a 1998 coin possibly be a wheat Lincoln cent? That's where the story gets interesting. There are moments in numismatic history when mistakes, intentional test strikes, or special mintings create coins that should not exist in their time. The 1998 wheat Lincoln penny is one of those ultra-rare anomalies. The official design for 1998 was the Lincoln Memorial reverse, but in rare cases, a wheat reverse die might have been mistakenly or experimentally used, creating an impossible yet very real collector's dream. These coins fall under the category of transitional errors or special pattern strikes, and when such anomalies survive, their value skyrockets. What makes the 1998 Liberty 1-cent wheat Lincoln coin so special is not just its error, but its condition, rarity, and the mystery surrounding its production. In numismatics, rarity is everything. Billions of ordinary 1998 pennies were minted, but if only a handful or perhaps even just one was struck with a wheat reverse, you have an object so rare that it becomes priceless to top collectors. In the high-stakes world of coin auctions, rarity combined with historical significance drives prices into the millions. That's why the market value for this particular coin in mint state perfection has been estimated at a jaw-dropping $114 million. Condition plays a huge role in this astronomical valuation. A coin graded MS-70 by a professional grading service, meaning it is in perfect mint state with no scratches, no handling marks, and a flawless strike, will fetch far more than one in worn condition. The slightest imperfection can mean a difference of millions when we're talking about ultra-rare coins. The surviving examples, if more than one even exists, are thought to be in pristine, untouched condition, making them the crown jewels of any collection. The composition of the 1998 penny also adds to its intrigue. In 1982, the U.S. Mint changed the cent's composition from 95% copper to a copper-plated zinc core. That means most 1998 cents are mostly zinc. However, reports suggest that some of these rare wheat reverse coins might have been struck on leftover copper planchets or other special metal compositions, adding another layer of uniqueness. In coin collecting, an unexpected metal content can triple or quadruple the value instantly. The journey of such a coin from mint to market is a story in itself. Imagine a mint worker accidentally pairing a wheat reverse die with a 1998 Lincoln obverse, striking a few coins, and those coins somehow escaping the mint's quality control. They make their way into circulation or directly into the hands of insiders. Over the years, they vanish into private collections, occasionally resurfacing at auctions where bidding wars erupt, with wealthy collectors determined to own a piece of numismatic history that no one else can boast. The historical significance cannot be overstated. Abraham Lincoln is one of America's most revered presidents, and his image on the penny is a constant reminder of his leadership, his vision, and his role in preserving the Union. The wheat reverse ties back to the early 20th century, when America's identity was rooted in agriculture and hard work. To have these two designs combined in a coin that should not exist in 1998 is to hold a piece of American heritage that bridges nearly a century of history. Collectors who own such a coin are not just holding a piece of metal, they are custodians of a national treasure. The $114 million valuation is not just about rarity and condition, but also about the coin's story, its ability to ignite passion, and its status as a once-in-a-lifetime find. In the world of rare coins, stories sell, and this one is as rich as they come. Imagine walking into an auction room where the bidding starts in the millions and quickly escalates, the tension thick, the air electric, until the hammer falls at a record-breaking price. That's the kind of moment this coin creates, even though most people will never see, let alone own, the 1998 Liberty 1-cent wheat Lincoln coin. Its existence inspires collectors to check every penny in their pocket change. Stories like this remind us that incredible treasures can hide in plain sight. A simple coin, overlooked by most, could be the key to unimaginable wealth and a direct link to America's past. So next time you come across a 1998 penny, take a closer look. Check the reverse. If you see two wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent, you might just be holding the rarest penny of them all, one that could be worth more than entire neighborhoods, luxury cars, or even private islands. In the end, coin collecting is not just about money, it's about history, mystery, and the thrill of discovery. And the 1998 Liberty 1-cent wheat Lincoln coin embodies all of that in a way few other coins ever could.